Mr. Kummel, who's the choir teacher at Newton High School, fumble over introducing the freshmen and said, well, they're almost sophomores. And it reminded me of all those summers when, the grade you were in is kind of fuzzy when people ask you about that, right? It happens like when you ask a young person what grade they're in when they're in June. And the student will always tell you that they're in the next grade up, right? If they were just completed fourth grade, they'll say, I'm a fifth grader now. And the parent will always tell you the grade they just finished. Because the student is done with the year, right? It's in the past, it is no longer relevant, and they are on to the new thing. The parent, however, isn't ready to start again quite yet. The crazy busy year is finally finished, and there's a moment, just a moment of respite. Don't start the race too soon, right? Let me breathe for a moment before we start this new thing. And the reality is that both are right. The student is no longer in the grade they just finished. Sort of. And they are not yet in the next grade up. Sort of. They're in an in-between time. And that's where we live. As Christians, we live in this strange in-between time. Jesus has ascended and has promised to return, but he hasn't come back yet. As we worship this morning, we're going to look at what it means for us to live in between the time when Jesus ascended and his promised return. Would you worship with me? Let's begin that by singing our opening hymn.